Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
I talked to you last week. I know it's. I think it wasn't really a session. It was nice to talk like that and kind of. I don't think we did any kind of work, right? Do you remember? Yeah, not really. I mean, we didn't do any parts work, I would say. Yeah, we didn't do any parts work. I mean, it was a good week. It was kind of nice to, I don't know, be in that space of not feeling like, oh man, I got to look at something or else I'm just, well, it's totally different now. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. What's one thing that's interesting is I'm starting to see a couple of different things. I mean, one of them is that start to see how these different parts, maybe this part of me that sort of depresses the system or let's say represses or it's more like a depressing kind of feeling, kind of works, and and the parts that come up in relation to that, that are and so what I noticed yesterday, last night, and today, this morning mostly, is just the magnitude of that, the power of that, the power of, part. Yeah, of that, in the system, it's almost and I wasn't I did have some curiosity and really was kind of I mean, it took a little while because I sort of had to, in that scenario too, another thing that came up was this part that is in denial, it's almost like it wasn't a big thing, but now that I'm talking about it now, it kind of it makes sense to voice it. And so what I kind of discovered was, I'm like looking at this depressing part, that's just like it's almost like hovering over me, and it's just like it's big. And and like I said, I'm kind of trying to engage with it. Okay. And so, but yeah, I noticed this other part comes up, and so I'm like wondering, like, am I curious? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. And so I started to kind of interact a little bit, and like that was a lie. Like
The
I really
curiosity
was. Yeah, like
was
the
a lie.
curiosity,
Yeah.
like that first I mean, I guess I could explore that later, but it's um, it could be like an awareness thing. Like I just wasn't kind of aware of, curiosity, but it kind of felt like a part, that you could, because it's like if you're really gonna kind of open up to a part, especially something like that, it has this level of like power and intensity. I think this other part was just kind of like, yeah, let me let me just you know not really let us be that open right now. So
Yeah.
But I kind of discovered that, and then once I kind of because I could feel it. I could feel it in my body. Like in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, I'm really curious about this. But I was like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. Like I do not like this part. I do not really.
The depressing part.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So so I kind of uh, but I was able to kind of distinguish that and become a little more curious. And then what came to me was like this kind of I don't know, just like, I've had images of like, just like mythic creatures and stuff. It's just, it's almost like I don't know, like a thing that has tentacles and stuff. But I was just surprised, because I really wasn't, you know, afraid of that. It didn't really induce any fear. I was just like, wow, that's pretty wild,
Yeah.
And and then what kind of emerged out of that too was this other part that is more like more like a recognizable part of me, uh, holds regrets and can't has this kind of like brooding, like seriously brooding mentality, like emotional.
And that was connected to the depressing part.
Yeah, it was kind of
part
like
of
it was
it.
like in front of that, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, like I don't really, I don't feel like I know anything. It's just like I feel like okay, it's just like it's helpful to uh have like have a image of these things. And I mean, I definitely yeah, I feel like my brain is kind of jumping around today.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm not like I'm not like settled.
So anything you'd like to do to help you settle?
Uh
Minute or two of meditation?
Man, I meditated for like a half an hour, like like an hour ago, and I think I'm just like nervous again. It's like the
Okay.
meditation's not. It's not. I'm just like being on the call with you. It's like I
Uh-huh.
start to feel like um. Well, I mean, I guess there's a part there that is like um wants to get, what are we going to do? Like wants
Yeah.
to, what are we going to do? Is it going
Oh
to
yeah.
help? Is it going to,
Uh-huh.
um, and just the feeling that I have is, uh, no, I'm just like overwhelmed. I'm just kind of like, I feel a little bit, I feel a little bit like, what is it? Like self-doubt. I don't know exactly what, but like maybe I'll hit it if I
Hmm.
just like hope, like a little bit of hopelessness. Um, yeah,
Does that feel like it comes from the same part that was saying, what are we going to do and will it help?
no, I think it's a little bit deeper than that
Okay.
part. Um,
They're all welcome.
so yeah, yeah. I feel like I settle down just a little bit. Like when I start to, acknowledge that sense of hopeless kind of feeling.
Hmm. Okay.
And, so it's like in my stomach, it's in my,
Hmm.
uh, yeah,
Okay. Would you like to get to know it better?
yeah.
Okay. So we did cover a lot of ground already, but there were several other parts. Would it be useful to check in with them and just see if they are willing to give you space and if they're okay with you going to meet this overwhelmed, self-doubt, hopeless part?
Yeah, I feel like they are sort of watching. They're
Hmm.
really like, they're either, yeah, I don't feel like I need to ask anybody's permission or I mean,
Yeah.
check in or anything. I feel like
Hmm.
it's,
None of them feel like they're jumping up and down and saying, "What
no,
about me?" Or they have big concerns about you doing this work.
no. And I almost feel like, when I went to this place, it kind of settled at least a couple down right away.
Mm-hmm.
It
Hmm.
was, I'm not sure what that's,
I wonder if that settling was they're happy that you landed on this thing that they could see needed your attention.
okay.
Sometimes that's how it works for me is,
Yeah.
I haven't found the part or the feeling that's causing whatever disturbance, and I start kind of flipping through the book mentally, and once once I land on it, everybody else kind of seems to relax.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It seems like that. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, you're showing just how powerful it is to notice parts.
Yeah.
If that's all we do is just notice them, what that's worth.
Yeah.
So you're saying this part shows up in your stomach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else do you notice about it?
Well, I sense some, like, I guess more along the lines of like sadness. Um,
Is it the part sadness?
that's a good question. Somebody's.
Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe not the part. I mean, maybe it's from.
What's the sadness feel like in your body?
Uh, it feels vulnerable. It feels vulnerable. There's also like I have there's a um I don't know. I wouldn't, because like, is it about trust or
Mhm.
um like I could almost easily well, is it like a protective kind of measure? I could flip to like anger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's fear and uncertainty, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a sense of not understanding,
Yeah.
and
Sounds vulnerable.
yeah,
I want to let that part know that I really want to respect that vulnerability and not exploit it, not
yeah,
push it, but that it's welcome.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
welcome here. How do you feel towards it?
I feel disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of out of touch, out of my element with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm probably, mm, yeah. I guess that's about the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you more in touch with the self doubt, hopelessness part in the stomach? And or does that still feel like a different part or the same part?
Uh, yeah. Hmm. Yes, that's another like good question, because I feel a little bit like I'm almost in the deep end. I mean, I'm almost gonna get to the drop off. It's like I'm not that good of a swimmer yet, you know, and
Okay. Okay.
But I'm curious. But it's like, you know, I have this. You know, I'm a little bit of an explorer. I'm a little adventurous. I have
Yeah,
a little bit of adventure,
definitely.
thrill seeking, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, yeah, but this is not that. You know, this is um.
Can you tell me more about the deep end drop off feeling? What that's what that message is, or what the concern is?
Oh man. Oh.
Do you feel like you're going there?
No, it's fine. I just feel these. I just had all these. Maybe I said that because I don't know. It's like this. Just these thoughts of like the pool at school,
Mm-hmm.
and the fear of the deep end, you know, and
Yeah.
um, um,
I guess I have some concerned parts that, you know, I hear the deep end drop off, and you know, I'm hearing that kind of as like a warning. You know, I was just telling the part that I don't want to overstep any boundaries and with the vulnerability, and so
no, I don't. I'm not really feeling that vulnerable now. It
okay.
almost feels what I was kind of going with was just, and I wonder if it's got anything to do with that because, you know, and I thought about this today. I don't know why it came up. You know, I was just at the school, you know, and like with this depressive kind of feeling, it's sometimes I have these feelings of like the I don't know, like I have like memories of like just places that were really hard, you know, like this, like a concrete school and the floor is
Mm-hmm.
like so hard and cold
Yeah.
you know, and then, and I was sort of like feeling that place today. And then you said the, the deep end. And then suddenly I was like, oh, I just went on the other side of that wall and the pool. It was like there. And that's where all this kind of stuff, all these kind of memories. So I don't want to run down memory lane, even though
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I know there's like material, you know, but, um, I don't know if that triggered something. I want to stay with, let me just try to, okay. So like I feel in my, you know, in my gut, I just feel this frustration with this part that, you know, just is probably, you know, so there's a frustrated part. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically what I'm saying. There's a frustrated part. It's like, give me my energy, give me my
Mm.
motivation, give me what's mine so I can get on with my life, you
Yeah. Yeah.
know,
Okay.
and,
So this other
and
part is draining, robbing the energy, taking up
yeah,
too much, and then there's
yeah,
this frustration with that.
yeah, you know, and
Yeah.
it's So, this frustrated part that I'm kind of in, right? Like I'm more kind of identifying with is sort of pointing the finger at these other parts.
Can we stick with that one for a moment?
Yeah.
Great. Great. So how do you notice the frustration part? What's it feel like?
Feels like arms crossed, like a little bit of overall like muscular tension, short breaths, tightness in my like torso, and yeah.
Okay. How do you feel towards it?
I love it.
Do you?
No, I don't. No, I see the protection of it. But it's just so not. It only has like a gas pedal. It's just like gonna floor it. It's gonna go halfway, or it's gonna floor it, and then it's gonna like it has to crash in order to stop.
Yeah, and it's the one saying, "Give me the energy." It's saying, "Give me the gas."
Yeah,
right?
give me the energy. Yeah, right.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So you have this part that really wants to hit the gas and can cause crashes.
Yeah, I can get things done. It can get things done.
Sure.
It can get things done. It can. It's not very inventive, but if there's a situation like that has there's a beautiful motive in it, it can be a part of that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to come up with one. It's it's not gonna. I don't have to get into that so much, but
I think I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have other parts that are saying, this is too much. This part is too it's got this one track mind, and it just goes, and we're not able to control it or to make sure that there's creativity or thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah.
Okay. That all makes sense to me. And I find it very common in just about everyone. I have it in me, go parts and don't go parts.
But it's just the opposition to that, that I try to is like this nice person, this kind of nice guy. And
okay.
So I try to hold it more, like don't wreck anything, by this kind of nice guy. And then so there's like this hatred there. There's like
the nice guy's hatred.
The nice guy's hatred, but the frustrated guy's hatred too. I mean, there's like hatred in the system, I think, and it's not easy to admit that, but because it's almost like a fearful thought, it's like, oh my God, this hatred, self-hatred. What do you do with that?
Yeah. Well, part hatred, which is the default. It's where we all are and have been, unless we're being self-led.
Yeah.
And these parts, they have different motives, different ideas of how to get things done. They're sick of each other. They've seen how each other can screw up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really great that you're recognizing that there's hatred in there, and that's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Yeah.
So maybe you can just let them know that you see that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And that you'd like to help them. See if you can get them to notice you.
Yeah. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I'm not sure that they're really paying attention to me.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So.
Right. Yeah, they're in this battle with each other. Again, just let them know you see that. You see the battle. You could just invite them. Maybe invite them to sit on opposite sides of a table. Or invite them by saying, would you too like help with this? Would you
Mm.
would you like me to help find another way?
This might take a minute. I'm just trying to. They're just not settled. You know, it's just trying to. How did I get worked up? Like what? Was that? I was settled, and then I. Okay. No, I'll just try this.
I can kind of try to play back some of what I'm recalling from the, if that's helpful.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I remember. I remember. You know, I think though that, you know, and I'll just talk, you know, knowing that they're there and they could hear me if they want, you know, and but I just feel I could just get a sense like I sort of approach, you know, vulnerability, like a vulnerable place sometimes, and then I very easily kind of give control over to this like frustrated part,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and you know, because there's high emotional tone, and it's like, you know, so it really disrupts the system, and it's like then you don't like feel you don't feel any tender feelings anymore.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, sometimes I've, you know, in recent months, you know, I've been okay with that. You know, I've done like I don't know, last 6 months I've probably cried more than I've cried in, you know, 5 years or something.
Wow.
6, you know, something like that. So,
Me too. Me too. When I just in doing IFS, yes, me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but you know, like I told you before, it was like, you know, I would sort of hit these thresholds, you know, and I would just be like, nah, it's time to
just take a break.
Yeah, take a break and take a pause for the cause.
Mm-hmm.
And but now I feel like, yeah, it's like this thing happened to me yesterday. And it's stimulated like just so much stuff, so and yeah, so yeah, I feel the need to get back in there.
Yeah, but the frustrated part is too pushy, too much hitting the gas. Is that the main, or one of the main blocks to getting back in there?
Yeah, I think it's just like it's like an avoidance thing, maybe it's my attitude towards the frustrated part. Maybe that's that's
Well,
where the
if
change
your
has to
attitude
happen.
is not compassionate and curious, then it's a part's attitude towards the frustrated
Okay.
part.
All right. So that's what it is. So I'm in this like part that, that's frustrated with the frustrated part.
Right. Is that the nice guy don't reckon
Something
today?
like that. Yeah.
Okay. Good catch.
Yeah.
See if you can get them on either side of the table, or one in each
Okay.
hand, or some
Mm-hmm.
distance from them, so that you can see the two of them. You can see that they're in conflict.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the nice guy. He's trying to do what he's supposed to do. He's just trying to do what he's supposed to do. He gets kind of beat up by
Mm-hmm.
this frustrated part.
Mm-hmm.
This frustrated part. It's just like it has this rage. Like this.
Okay. So
This
let the
kind
nice
of
guy let the nice guy know that you see how he gets beat up by the rage.
Mm-hmm. Kind of not even physically. It's just like.
It's
Well,
just
I think I
tiring.
get it now. I think I get it. It's just like they don't respect each other.
Right.
They don't
Right.
respect the methods. They don't.
And they're both working hard.
They're both working super hard.
Yeah. How do you
Super
feel
hard.
towards them being in that conflict and working so hard
I feel,
unproductively?
yeah. Well, I
You know.
just to understand that and just to get this picture,
Mm-hmm.
it's like um I just have a feeling of like gratitude,
Yeah. Yeah. Me
and
too.
yeah, um
See if you can share some of that with them. Kind of invite them into your gratitude space.
yeah.
And is that gratitude for some of the hard work that they're doing? Like the fact that they're both,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like I sense that like like I'm a little more aligned with the nice guy,
Mm-hmm.
and and just recognizing that, and I see I feel like I can soften up a little bit to the frustrated one.
Yeah. I just want to offer that the nice guy doesn't have to soften up to the frustrated one. Like, they don't have to get along necessarily.
Yeah.
But you can help them stop fighting by finding other solutions, by giving each of them what they need. So it doesn't have to be, let's solve this conflict so that you two like each other.
Yeah.
Because that's a much higher bar. And I don't think that that's always
Probably not,
reasonable or necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. Okay. So I'll just try to share some of that appreciation and gratitude.
Yeah. And respect for the fight, they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
Even if you're not entirely sure why, that they're doing it for a reason.
I mean, there's so much I know about this, like the frustrated one. I don't really know what, I don't know. I don't understand him as well as the nice guy. Like
So
nice one.
would it make sense to ask the nice one if it would step back just a little bit so that you can try to hear from the frustrated part and learn more about its story?
Right. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. And I think it's great that you can see that, and you could even say that to the frustrated part. Say, look, I know more about this side than I know about you, and sorry about that, and I'd like to take some time to hear what you're about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of pain there. There's some anger, and it's more than frustration.
Right. You feeling curious about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just let it know and ask it what it wants you to know.
Yeah, I'm almost have to ask him that, he's got to keep it to a certain level. Like, you can't turn it to full blast, because
there's a lot of pain and anger in there.
Yeah. So I just tell them, this has been really hard for you. This has been really hard for you. And see if he can tell me some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the operative word for him is respect. That there just hasn't been respect.
Okay.
Um,
Does that make sense to you, or is there more he wants to show you about
yeah,
that?
kind of. I mean, it definitely does. I mean, I can. I mean, there's just all kind of stuff, you know. I mean, there's just like, I'm wondering, like, is his motivation, is that to get respect, or is it?
Yeah, what's he want to accomplish with all of his energy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's like dignity and respect, you know, like he works to, I mean, it's not totally clear, but what I surmise is like that. It's about dignity and respect, and to protect from these weaklings that like
Mm-hmm.
that just, and I think he's hinting at, you know, his the other guy, you
Yeah,
know, these weaklings that just like just fall into these like shame spirals, and just like defeated for no good reason, and
yeah. Take up too
um
much energy.
yeah, take up all this energy and just fall on the ground for
Mm.
you know, like sacrifice themselves, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for, you know, for what?
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
It kind of does. Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Just let him know that.
Hmm.
And earlier, when you said, you talked about what he would be willing to go towards, you called it something beautiful,
Hmm.
right? Like
What's that?
he's not, his intentions aren't evil.
No. I mean, he can get behind like a cause, you know, but
Right,
he,
right,
he what I said was like, I didn't suspect that he was the one who came up with the cause,
right. Yeah.
you know? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of those causes was getting to know some vulnerable, sad parts. That's when he came up and he was expressing frustration. So
Mm.
he's got, it sounds to me like he has inner causes as well. Like he cares about your healing and your parts work and your inner journey.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. Like maybe I'm not giving him the credit like you are,
Well,
because
you could check it out. I could be totally wrong. Maybe just
yeah.
ask him if any of that resonated,
Hmm.
or if I'm just talking to just
Okay.
theorizing, making shit up.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think he really dislikes. I don't know. It's like weakness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that like he has some. I don't know. This. I still feel new at. I still feel pretty new at this. This is a.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yep. Yeah. Been living with these parts for decades and talking to them
Yeah.
for a few months.
Yeah.
So he dislikes weakness.
Well, I mean, he dislikes the like the I don't know, like the infatuation with it, you know, like some of these parts are just like just what comes to mind is like I mentioned that like kind of like that brooding part, you know, and the one who just
Right.
goes over mistakes, you know, all the mistakes I've ever made and and
Right.
and you know eh, like what I checked out with him was like because I thought something was about the pool, but it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't a big deal. But so I just now like I checked out this memory with him because when I was in fourth grade in the pool, you know, I was one of the more athletic kids, but one of the more athletic boys, I guess. And I, but I couldn't float in the pool, and it was like a really embarrassing thing. And this teacher was like helping me while all the other kids like were um, playing in the deep end, and I couldn't float, you know, and so I couldn't go in the deep end because I didn't know how to float. So so I just checked out that memory with him, and he's like, I think he was like, no, like that kind of a weakness, that's not a big deal. It's like, I don't know, like somehow just
More,
like if I would take the memory and think about it every day, and
that would be the brooding, right?
that would be the weakness.
Got it. Yes. So it's not the original event. It's the carrying it around as a burden and
Yeah,
brooding on it. Yeah.
yeah,
That makes a lot of sense to me. And it sounds exactly like what protectors do. Other parts are burdened, other parts are vulnerable, other parts have been carrying something around for a long time
yeah.
and they're still complaining about it. And
Hmm.
protectors come in and say, "Shut up.
Okay,
Stop doing that. Be gone. Exile."
okay.
Check that out with them, see if any of that resonates.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like then I don't know, I kind of lost contact with him because once I said that, then I just feel this hurt come up, you know,
Right,
of
right. So if I can, when you feel that hurt, you're connecting with that exile. You're connecting with the part that felt however it felt to not be able to float, for example. Is that right?
hmm yeah.
Yeah. And so, and that's normal.
I don't know. It's not even that. I'm like above the situation. I'm just looking at myself trying to float. I'm not even there, you know. But I feel these
Right, but you're feeling it, you're
feel these.
empathizing with it.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
And
other pains from
sure,
wherever. I don't know where.
sure. Yeah. So just in a word, I would call that kind of blending, right? You
Yeah.
notice a part and then you feel what that part's feeling. And
Mhm.
that's kind of our main goal is to do as much unblending as we can so that we can see the parts from self and help them from self.
Okay. So now I get a sense like that this exile part is kind of afraid of that frustrated part.
It is. I hate to keep talking over you, but the exile does have its feelings. But if we move on from this protector we were talking to, and suddenly, like we didn't put a bow on that.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm just telling you what's happening.
We didn't get to know about the relationship. I know, but
Okay.
I guess I just kind of have a rule of thumb especially around exiles, where it's very important to get to know their protectors first and to understand what the protectors are doing. And I think you have a gift in your ability to see parts and to go there. You connect, and you connect visually, and you can empathize quickly with young parts, which is awesome. But if that also means skipping past their protectors, then you end up with these protectors who are still battling, and they're not caught up on work you might have done with exiles, and maybe they're backlashing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. And I apologize if I'm being annoying here. I just, I'm new to it too, and I'm just trying to.
I think it's good. I think it's good to stay on track. And I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I didn't think that, I need some guidance actually. So,
all these parts are connected, and I think again, to kind of that gift that you have is to touch one, and then you see the connection, and then you can touch that one, and then you can see the connection, and you can touch that one, which is awesome. That vision and that like movement. I'm taking notes. I think we've probably talked to 12 or 15 parts or identified in this conversation.
Yeah.
It also makes it hard for me to do any guidance, because I'm always at least one step behind, which is just the nature of the work. But yeah, so to rewind and to, you had just started getting to know this frustrated part that you said you didn't know very well.
Yeah. And I only went to that one thing because I told you that I had checked in with him about that memory. So that's the only reason that's the reason I jumped. So let me just go back to, because he had given me the impression that no, it wasn't the weakness of like a young child or a vulnerable or sadness or something like that. It was just these other kind of weaknesses of like I guess they're like character flaws or bad mental habits or something.
Right.
So
yeah. And that's going back kind of like to the brooding.
Yeah.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Just let them know you get that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It definitely makes sense to me. There are lots of parts that you can go and be with, and if they're not feeling great, then this frustrated part says, well, why are you spending so much time brooding? Why are you spending so much time?
Yeah. Yeah, so I see his frustration. I see like he feels like they've wrecked a lot. They've wasted a lot of time. They've done a lot to they've just done a lot of damage.
Yes.
So I get what he's saying. I do. you know.
He's concerned about how much they're wrecking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the nice guy also was saying, don't wreck anything.
Yeah. And I think this frustrated guy, he's like, he knows, like he knows what I'm good at, you know, he knows that,
yeah. What does he think about you?
yeah. Yeah, he just thinks I'm paying attention to the wrong parts. I'll use my
Yeah.
word. But that, yeah, you know, I have a lot of wasted talent.
Yeah. But the thing you're good at is paying attention? Or what is it?
I understand it. Well, the thing I'm good at, I'll see. Well, I mean, I think he's just acknowledging that you know, I know what I'm good at. Uh, and but he's like, well, you kind of get lost. You get lost with trying to fix everything.
Yeah.
You know, trying to fix all these little rugrats and you know,
Right.
wiping noses constantly.
Yeah.
And, you know,
when he was saying about
and
what you're good at, was he talking about that internal work? Something around that?
I don't know. I just feel like he said, like, you don't need me to tell you what you're good at.
Okay.
Or
I'm dying to know, because I would love to know,
yeah.
because I want to know how this part sees you. And if it sees your capacity as self, or if it just thinks you're a good musician, those are very different things. So maybe you two know, but I would love to know how this part sees you. What it thinks you're good at.
I'll have to, let me see if he will say. Well, I mean, he says, like, I'm a peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I think so too. That's what you can do for parts. And he's concerned you're paying too much attention to the wrong parts.
Yeah.
But he sees that quality in you to make peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that brings us back to the original offer of letting these parts know that you'd like to make peace with them and for them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just wondering how he would, I don't know, how he would know that about me. I mean, I guess he knows. Doesn't matter.
How old does he think you are?
I just get that he's well aware of my exact age, or
Great.
there's like an ageless
Yes. Great.
quality.
That's good.
And
Because for a moment I thought maybe the peacemaker might have been another word for the nice guy, but it sounds like he sees your real age.
yeah,
He sees your ability to attend to parts, to attend too much to some parts, in his opinion, and to make peace.
man, I'm even more curious about this part. I'm just like who is
Excellent.
that?
Yeah. The frustrated one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how can I call him frustrated now?
Oh, I know. That's how it always is. You get to know a protector and suddenly you learn their real name. Because he's so much more than that. That's just a symptom. Let him know you're curious.
Yeah. I just get the sense I just I mean, it's strange if some like somebody's name is like time, but like that's kind of his deal,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it's more than that, but
Yeah.
he's concerned, he's concerned about time and
Yeah. Time wasted.
time spent. How long does this take?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this worth our time?
Mm-hmm.
And I get it,
Yeah. How does he feel about the few minutes, the time that you've spent just getting to know him?
That's necessary time.
It absolutely is. When you're in self energy, you're curious about a part that's frustrated or sad or however, that's necessary time.
Yeah.
Would it be okay now to zoom back out, go back to that conference table?
Okay.
Now that you've gotten to know him, bring back in that nice guy and see if you can make that offer again to both of them to be the one to help them both. And would they be interested in more of that?
Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of enjoying the moment here with,
Great. Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
mean, it's like they can look at each other, and there's not like, I mean, there's acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah. And can they both look at you? Because when you first found them, they were too wrapped up in each other.
Right. Yeah, when I said they were looking at each other, it's not that they're ready to communicate or anything, but yeah, you're right. Like, can they look to me and
see that they don't have to be alone in their fight?
Yeah.
That they can both have an advocate and a peacemaker.
Yeah. You know, and they both have a stake in that, a job in making peace, you know. So
yeah,
you know,
they have their good intentions.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, so I'm just acknowledging to them, like, yeah, there's pain in the system. There's unresolved, like, things.
Mm-hmm.
There's and I don't know, somehow it's you know, I think I've kind of been, maybe I could just accept, I'm just more accepting of that now. And, you know, it's just kind of part of a human being. It's just like there's things that are not resolved, and
yeah, it is messy work too, but that doesn't mean you're doomed, right? You can take this necessary time with both of these protectors, for example, and just stay with them until they both feel like they can trust you and that you really do care for them.
I mean, it's like the nice guy. It's like, I don't know, we're gonna have to, I don't know, like,
Gonna have to,
I don't know, like, I'm just wondering what there's a more of a like, there needs to be more of a balance of power, you know, and you know, like,
between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's I'm seeing moments where they're well, here's what it is. Like, here's what's painful for me is, like, the nice guy is kind of like the face man, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then, well, yeah, and then the like the frustrated part is well, what is it? I mean, there's definitely other parts involved, but, you know,
Yes.
I guess there's like these, you know, when there's like pain in the system, like there's like, let's say,
Yes.
is it me? Is it like, it's me that's attending to like this pain all the time, you know, like this emotional.
Maybe you're attending well, and you could just be blending with it. That's another way of attending without necessarily alleviating it. So that's why it's important to unblend and get in the self energy that is curious. And that's what IFS is We're not just attending by, oh, I feel this now. That's mindfulness. I feel this now. I feel this now. I feel this. That's mindfulness, which is essential, which is absolutely required. But to get into self energy and to attend with that curiosity and to become someone who they can go to, and that you can actually heal the parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm just like I'm curious about that now. It's like, what's like, I'm just seeing myself in these situations, and then I was like, well, I'm just wondering, like, how is this dynamic playing out? Like, where's the, like, what? I'm just curious about it. I don't have the answer right now.
Yeah. Well, that's the most important step. That is a definition of self.
Okay.
When you really got curious about the frustrated part, you suddenly could see all kinds of important sides, important parts of his story, and your compassion grew for him, and he had more valuable advice, and it seems like he probably came to trust you better.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's all about. Just staying curious.
Right.
Which is hard, and it's time consuming, and it's energy consuming.
Right? Do you have any, like, is there anything that you do, like, any way to induce curiosity, like in the moment, or?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
The easy answer, the quick answer is that I have rituals. So I'm not, so it sounds like, you have a meditation habit. So anyone who has any habits understands the power of the habit. And so, when I have my parts work time at a certain time of day, that is all, just the fact that I'm doing it regularly and consistently helps me get into the state I need to be in. So there's that.
I think me just practicing daily 5 minutes, doing my 5 minutes with the IFS, but that's the thing I recognize. It's like I mentioned it earlier, I had this little like fake, curiosity
pseudo curiosity, right?
Pseudo curiosity, like I'm playing the part, and
that's a self-like part, I think.
Yeah.
It knows the rules of the game. It knows curiosity is a good thing, and it says, this is what we're into.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what it's like when someone's fake curious about you.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's true though. It's just like nothing like the real thing. It's like it lights your brain up, like you feel lit up, emotionally and like, yeah. Like I really felt that when that, you remember this one part where I was like, I really want to know who that is, that's something I need to remember,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the big two are curiosity and compassion, and so the curiosity is who is this? The compassion might be to stay with them.
Okay.
Because if you're too curious, if you're only curious, then that might be part of the, let me go to the next part. Oh, now I hear another part that's upset. Let me go to that one. And so we could call that a type of compassion, or maybe clarity of saying, you know what, this is the part that's on my calendar for the day. Yeah. This is the part I want to get to know. This part is just as valuable as any other part. And I'm going to make a space just for this part in me for right now.
Right. Yeah, I think that's, I think that's really important for me, because I do, You know, I
get it.
I
We all
do
do it.
jump around. Yeah.
We all do it.
Yeah.
I get it. And yeah, I think our best work and, between you and I, my best work I've seen in other colors is pretty much always when we're able to focus and, get to know a part until it feels like it's known.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
all dealing with that really.
Okay. All right. When am I gonna talk to you again?
I don't know. I'm doing a new thing with the calendar.
Okay.
And that will be rolled out soon. So
Okay.
yeah, kind of waiting another week or two to implement something new. You'll be the first to know.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And
Okay.
appreciate the time and
I
attention.
appreciate your time and your patience with me. Again, I'm also new to this, and I really just appreciate it. Thank you to your
No, I think you
frustrated
got good
part.
instincts. I think you have good instincts, and I think you're developing good skills, and it's helping me. So,
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.